The mainstream media, the sock puppet media, don't get it. They don't seem to understand what's happening here. Stop pretending this story between Candace and Erika and TPUSA, which is really what it's about. Stop pretending this is about tone or civility. It's about power and who gets to ask questions without being destroyed for it. That's what it's about. Candace Owens didn't break any rule. She did not accuse without evidence. She didn't invent facts. She didn't declare guilt. She asked questions. She asked questions, which is what we do. That's all she did. Let me remind you. Let me say it again. That's all she's doing. And instead of somebody saying, yes, thank you for getting to the bottom of who killed or was responsible for Charlie, which is really where all this started from, they kept saying, shut up. We determined this, and we've shut down this investigation. So listen, CO, you take your stuff and get out of here. We're in charge. And they dragged Erika and put her in the middle. Tell them. And she's not equipped to do this. She doesn't have the mettle. Listen, I've never said anything negative about her. As a CEO, as her role is a different story. But see, this alone was enough for the media class to reach for the oldest weapon in the drawer and label her a conspiracy theorist. Oh my God, they passed out the memos. Everybody in conventional sock puppet media had to say the same thing. She's a conspiracy theorist. Not because she lied, but because she refused to shut up. That's what this is about. Remember that. And here's the hook. And here's the truth. If asking unanswered questions after a political assassination of her friend and Erika's husband and the father of her children, you would think she would join forces. If this makes you a conspiracy theorist, then journalism itself is dead. The fact that journalism isn't even investigating this is just incredible. And if Candace Owens is guilty of anything, it's refusing to play along while it is buried. There was more interest in the which is a tragedy, in the Rob Reiner murder, which is cut and dried, open and shut. It's the Sun. It's like, what are you talking about? Well, it's celebrity. Oh, the media can't get enough of that. No, conspiracy theory is there because that's okay. But they were told, that's it. Cut it off. Forget this interest in Charlie Kirk. And it's obvious. Since Charlie was assassinated, let me say this again, assassinated, the institutional instinct has been containment, close ranks, limit discussion, elevate a symbol, manage the emotions. You got that? Read the memo, everybody. Move the donors, control the narrative. Erika Kirk, put her out there. They shoved her in the middle. They placed her at the center of the strategy, whether she asked for it or not. She became both shield and sermon. Grief was transformed into authority, and she did it so many times she was forced to do so much that sometimes, it may have looked a bit performative. Maybe it looked, I don't know what grief is supposed to look like, but this is what they said. They don't care about her. Keep up the front. Don't ask questions. Get in the front and throw your grief and your widowdom in front of Candace and blame her as some kind of a cold, unthinking thing. You know what's going on. You don't need me to tell you this. Forgiveness was repackaged as finality. When she said, I forgive what's-his-face, who may or may not be responsible, that was a way of saying, that's it, case closed. And any deviation from that script was treated as heresy or conspiracy. Candace Owens rejected the script. She didn't question grief. And today they're saying, how was the meeting? Well, it was productive. Productive! I hope what this was Candace leaning over the table and saying, Erika, what have they done to you? Have they threatened you? Are you worried about something? Why are you doing this? I'm on your side. Candace questioned process. She questioned timing. She questioned leadership changes. She questioned money. She questioned whether the organization prioritized, self-preservation over transparency. Those aren't conspiracies. Those are standard questions in any case involving violence and power and institutional survival, which the media should have been asking themselves. But I'm belaboring the point. So why the hysteria? Why? Because Candace Owens threatens something far more dangerous than bad press. She threatens closure. Institutions survive by closing stories. Candace keeps them open. Media outlets survive by choosing sides. Candace refuses to accept the side she's assigned. I don't want this side. This isn't my side. Sorry. That is why she's attacked. Not because she is wrong, but because she is uncontrollable. And let me not get too conspiratorial myself here, but Candace, be careful. Be careful, because whatever happens to you now, people will breathe a sigh of relief, and they will do a post-mortem. She was nuts anyway. I know you're doubling down on this, and you should, because these are sick people. Look closely at how the media framed this. Erika Kirk was not treated as an executive. She was treated as a sacrament. Porcelain. Don't touch her. Don't even think of asking her questions. Profiles read like devotionals. It was like an article of faith where you had to, she was untouchable, unquestionable. Interviews avoided substance. Questions were soft, reverent, reverential, carefully curated, carefully asked, carefully provided. Forgiveness was elevated into a kind of a moral cudgel. If you questioned anything, you were accused of cruelty. If you persisted, you were accused of malice. If you in any way refused to stop, you were accused of conspiracy. That word again. See what's happening here? That's not journalism. What is journalism anyway? I don't know, but that's not it. That's enforcement. What exactly has Candace Owens done to deserve this treatment? Somebody answer this question. She didn't accuse Erika Kirk of wrongdoing. She didn't allege criminal behavior without evidence. She didn't fabricate connections. She asked whether unanswered questions remain unanswered and why they're unanswered and why they're unasked. She asked whether internal dynamics mattered. She asked whether institutions should be trusted to investigate themselves. That's what this is about. Now, if that makes you or someone dangerous, then the danger lies elsewhere. Here, listen to me, here is where skepticism of Erika Kirk is not cruelty, but realism. Erika did not choose this role, but she accepted it. She stepped into executive power during an unresolved crisis. That comes with scrutiny, whether the media likes it or not, and whether she likes it or not. Sympathy does not negate accountability, and grief does not cancel questions. Elevation during chaos demands, in essence, transparency, not this sanctification. Oh, God, don't ask anything. Media figures know this. They simply choose not to apply it here. Why? Well, for one reason, because they're handed a memo by their officers, by their executives saying, don't you dare. Because Erika Kirk is useful. She stabilizes donors. She quiets internal dissent. She provides a human face that discourages hard questions. And she absorbs scrutiny that would otherwise land on the institution itself. And that is not an insult. It is a function, and that's a fact. But functions expire. Candace Owens understands this, probably better than the media ever will. In fact, I know she does. She understands that institutions don't seek truth first. That's not what they're interested in. They seek survival, especially now. And survival requires control of narrative and timing and emotion. Look what I'm doing with you right now. This didn't exist 25 years ago. This is brand new. This is the media. This is the truth. You and me, that's it. We're more dangerous than anything they could ever do. And instead of coming up to the plate and doing their job, they're swinging. They struck out. Candace Owens disrupts all of this. She doesn't accept official timelines. She doesn't outsource her judgment to press releases. She doesn't allow grief to be weaponized against her. She's right up there asking the questions that everybody wants to know. That's why every attack on her has been moral rather than factual. And you notice it, everybody else does too. Notice what critics do not do. See, they don't disprove her questions. They don't answer them. They don't offer evidence that resolves them or disputes them. They attack her character. She's crazy. She's nuts. See? It's how dare you ask questions? It's like when people say, do you think we landed on the moon? How dare you? Now, whatever your thoughts are on that, you should be able to ask anything you want. Do these vaccines work? What? Are masks effective? Oh, God. Is the official narrative of 9/11 correct? Would you stop this? You ingrate. Don't you understand? We carefully crafted and drafted this storyline. Why are you veering from it? They question her motives. They label her dangerous and a nut. And that's the tell. When the facts are on your side, you present them. And when they're not, you attack the person asking. Attacking the messenger, shooting the messenger. This is where the conspiracy label becomes obscene. A conspiracy theorist asserts secret knowledge, perhaps, maybe special knowledge. Candace Owens asserts uncertainty, questions. A conspiracy theorist claims hidden truths. Candace merely demands, again, I keep using the word, but it's true, transparency, openness. A conspiracy theorist closes inquiry by declaring answers. Candace opens inquiry and interrogation by refusing closure. The inversion is deliberate. The media have taken sides not because Candace is reckless, but because Erika Kirk fits the story they want to tell. A grieving widow turned moral leader is comforting. A relentless questioner is not. Comfort sells, skepticism threatens. And let us be honest about something else here. Candace Owens doesn't need institutional approval. That terrifies these people. It terrifies institutions to the core. She doesn't rely on access. She doesn't rely on donor favor. She doesn't rely on press invitations. Her credibility comes from audiences like you and me who no longer trust managed narratives. Every attempt to silence her, every attempt only expands her credibility. And that is the paradox the media cannot escape. The more they attack Candace, the more they go after her without evidence, the more they validate her central claim that something is being protected. Not necessarily criminality, protection. Protection of reputation, protection of funding, protection of leadership, protection of the brand. You only take flack when you're over the target. So Erika Kirk is caught inside this machine, and it's sad. They're using her. That deserves empathy. But empathy does not absolve scrutiny. History is full of well-meaning, well-intended figures elevated during crises who later discovered that they were in fact used and being used as buffers until the institution no longer needed them. And when they don't need you, you know what happens. Organizations calculate. They don't mourn. They don't love. They replace. Candace Owens sees that future clearly. And that is why she cannot be neutralized by appeals to unity or decency or forgiveness or whatever the hell they're talking about. Unity without truth is compliance. And forgiveness without answers is erasure. Candace refuses both. And they hate that. This is not about two women. It's about whether institutions get to declare questions illegitimate. And we're tired of that. And we're tired of you telling us to shut up simply because these questions are inconvenient. Okay? It's about whether media still function as interrogators and questioners and the torquemadas and the cross-examiners of power, or merely its decorators. It's about whether asking simple questions after political violence is courageous or is it forbidden. See, it's so easy. You understand. If you believe transparency matters, then this moment matters. If you believe that institutions like TPUSA shouldn't investigate themselves without scrutiny, then this moment matters. If you believe and you feel and you actually understand that labeling dissent as conspiracy, lunacy, without evidence is a tactic of control, then this moment matters. Here's what I want you to do. Listen to me. Do not accept moral scolding in place of answers. Don't let the media tell you that questions are dangerous while refusing to answer them is okay. Don't confuse grief with authority or forgiveness with finality. Demand facts, demand transparency, demand that questioning always remain legitimate. Support those who ask when others are silent. Share their work. Refuse the smear. Push back against the lazy labels. The truth doesn't need protection. Only structures do. Candace Owens. Candace Owens has earned nothing but disagreement on the merits. She's earned no smear. She has earned no dismissal. She has earned engagement until her questions are answered. Labeling her anything else is cowardice. It's gutless, all disguised as concern. If you care about truth, don't look away. Stay with the questions. Support the inquiry. Refuse the silence. And accept my humble thanks for being with us. Again, I have questions for you to answer. Questions that I think go to the heart of this. I'd love to see what you think. Love to see what your views are. Love to see what your observations are. Your insight is important because remember, you're the grand jury. That's what this is about. Please like this video, my friends. Please subscribe. Your subscription, your liking these videos puts us into the HOV lane to invite people over. Because, by the way, this isn't just about Candace. It's about the process. Because there's going to be an issue next time that asks the same questions about something else. And we're going to be using the same argument again. This problem doesn't go away. You're an American citizen or wherever you're from, and you can ask any goddamn question you want. That simple. Now comment, my friend, as you see fit.